Hello and guten Tag from Cologne, Germany. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome to my new room. I live in a shared apartment and one of the other guys moved out and I took over his room. I have plenty more of space now for a little bit more of money, for a little bit more of rent, of course. But this is really good. I like it already, but I'm not done with everything yet. Still much to do, but yeah, don't be surprised if the background is changing during the next videos probably. But yeah, I'm really happy about this room now. And today's topic is something German. I already said it before. I also want to talk or mention famous German stuff sometimes in some videos. And today's topic is this little thing here. It's I guess quite famous in the USA too, and there's at least a little link to America or to American English, because maybe 10 years ago I watched one season of Big Bang Theory on DVD in English, and one guy was standing in the bathroom, had some fragrances laying in front of him, and he asked one of the other guys, "What cologne do you use?" And I was like, what? What kind of phrase is this? And it was not about Eau de Cologne, or as we say, Eau de Cologne with a French pronunciation, because yeah, when this was invented, it was given a French name by an Italian guy who lived in Cologne and gave it a French name because France was already the leading country when it was about fashion style, posh lifestyle, and so on. So this is actually, you say Eau de Cologne. And yeah, really funny that you say in America, it's probably more an American English phrase to say what cologne do you use, even if you don't mean Eau de Cologne in particular, but generally male fragrances, because we don't do that in Germany. We all just say Eau de Cologne, but only if we mean Eau de Cologne. And if we mean general fragrances, we say more perfume. But this is really funny that you say what cologne do you use. So actually I have to say thank you from Cologne for using that term, because every time you probably make my city a bit more famous, even if you don't mean the city. But by just using the term Cologne, you make my city a bit more famous, or at least the name Cologne. It's really funny. I like that. And yeah, we are watching now a video about 4711, or as we say, 4711, this kind of brand. It's probably the most famous Eau de Cologne, I guess so. And in the end of this video, so please watch it to the end. I will do a little giveaway, a little raffle. And yeah, one of you can win a little prize, but I will tell more about this in the end of the video. So please watch it to the end.
For 7-Eleven, as cool as the breeze on a fresh summer morning. For 7-Eleven, the number to call on right now.
Obviously, a commercial spot from the 70s.
Get it. That fresh, great tingling feeling with 4711 Echt Kölnisch Wasser.
The tingle that makes
Echt Kölnisch Wasser means true Cologne water or true Colognish water. It's also a part of the name of 4711. It's actually the German meaning of original Eau de Cologne or original Eau de Cologne. Echt Kölnisch Wasser, true Colognish water.
your whole world come alive.
Hello chaps, and welcome back to The Chap's Guide, the channel where we talk about men's grooming, style, self-development and a number of other things that will help you on your journey to being the best chap that you can be. Now today's a product review, and particularly I'm talking about a fragrance because I love fragrances. They make life a far more sensorily enjoyable experience. And the fragrance I'm going to talk about today is this little chap on the table here, and that's 4711, the original Eau de Cologne. And as ever, when I talk about any product, I like to delve into its heritage, because for me, I'm one of those people who buy into the backstory. It becomes part of the reason why I want to own something and use something. And with Eau de Cologne, it has a fantastic history. In fact, that history started way back in the late 18th century, when a chap called Johann Maria Farina created this fragrance in his new hometown of Cologne in Germany. Now, he was an Italian chap, yet because he created this fragrance in Cologne, he wanted to name it in honor of the town which was his new home. So he called it Eau de Cologne. Now, Eau de Cologne, of course, means water from Cologne. Hence why 4711 is permitted to use the term the original Eau de Cologne in its marketing terminology.
So, but there's one thing about this. Johann Maria Farina invented the very first Eau de Cologne or Eau de Cologne, but it wasn't this. Maybe I wasn't really exactly in the intro as well, because he is indeed the inventor of Eau de Cologne, but it wasn't 4711. He didn't. It came up decades later. He created the very first Eau de Cologne, but this brand is also Eau de Cologne as well, but from a different publisher. So many people confuse it. He is indeed the inventor of Eau de Cologne. Sorry, like this. But he is not the inventor of 4711. 4711 came up. He invented Eau de Cologne in 1709. That was right, but it wasn't 4711. 4711 came up in, I guess, I didn't know what he did say, 1799. So many years later. And so, but then why does it say original Eau de Cologne or original Eau de Cologne when it's not the first one? Because it's confusing actually. But it's still right, or it's they can use that term original Eau de Cologne because you can do it as long as you produce your kind of Eau de Cologne in Cologne, in my hometown Cologne, or in Köln, as we say in German, and as long you do that, and you as long as you're using a certain kind of ingredients, it's probably a bit of lemon, a bit of orange, and some certain stuff you have to use. But if you use these ingredients and you produce it in Cologne, then you can call your Eau de Cologne or Eau de Cologne original Eau de Cologne as well. But it doesn't mean that it's the first one. Yes, that's a little fun fact to know, or it's not only a fun fact actually, and many people confuse it. And it's actually really funny because he said at the beginning of the video he's really into the history of things, and he's but one of the many people who confuse this fact.
Around this product. And this product's been on sale, been around since 1799. So it's got this...
This one, 4711, is published the first time in 1799, that's true. But he invented Eau de Cologne, the very first one, in 1709, some decades earlier.
Remarkable history going way back, and it is an interesting product to talk about. Now, since in that intervening period, 4711 has been continuously made at that same location in Cologne, and in fact the original property it was made in, number 4711, is now something of a museum dedicated to this Cologne.
Stell dir vor, du kannst alles erstellen, einfach indem du daran denkst. Das ist Base 44.
Hence,
One second.
number 4711.
Yes, this is the house where with the main shop of 4711. The street is called Glockengasse. It's also, you can read it probably here, Glockengasse. It's where it means, Glockengasse means bell alley. Just a little street in the city center of Cologne. And it has still the main shop of, it's the main shop of 4711. Yes, and yeah, it's the building, the original building is from the 18th century, but it was bombed out during the World War, but they replaced it at the very same location in a very similar architecture style.
Is now something of a museum dedicated to this cologne. Hence why we call
So
it.
it's not only a museum, but also the main shop, the main store of 4711. You can buy not only this kind, you can also some other editions of 4711, some other kinds of 4711, but only 4711, of course, no other eau de colognes. Not the original from this one, because as you're interested, this is what he invented, Farina, because he was called Farina, Johann Maria Farina. And you can also buy his very own Farina Eau de Cologne, or Eau de Cologne. It's the oldest, indeed the oldest Eau de Cologne, but it's not 4711, it's a different kind of Eau de Cologne. It's the same ingredients and also produced in Cologne, of course. But the funny thing is, it's only produced, or they have also their own shop, also in the city center of Cologne, and only probably less than 500 meters away from 4711. That's really funny. It's actually, you can walk just a distance of 500 meters, just probably only straight forward, and we come to the other shop of this. And it's also the same building at the same address since it was invented in 1709. That's really funny as well, really interesting.
Everything cologne, yeah? Now you understand where the term cologne comes from. And it's largely unchanged, although its exact ingredients have remained something of a secret over the many years. Now the product line today is made by the German.
The secrets, but the secrets are actually, you can read the ingredients. It's maybe a bit of lemon, a bit of orange, and so, maybe in what kind or how much you use these. This is a secret, but the basic ingredients, you can read them everywhere.
Company Mora and Wirtz. Although over the years it's been owned by a number of different companies, it's changed hands many times. It's been owned by Procter & Gamble prior to Mora and Wirtz. But now it's owned by a German company, Mora and Wirtz, and they also have Tabak in their stable of products. So a proper, honest to goodness, German quality.
I didn't know that. Like that. Okay, Tabak original. Huh? Okay, interesting.
Company. And 4711 is, one of their better known products lines to be.
And actually, in Germany we say 4711. It means literally 4711 and not 4711.
Fair. Now, what can I tell you about a bit more of the history of 4711? It's largely unchanged, and it's beloved in Germany and all over the world, of course, by people who enjoy this type of cologne. Historically, you'll have seen it in various other platforms of the media. So, for instance, it appeared in the Truman Capote book Breakfast at Tiffany's. It was used and referenced in the literary work by Holly Golightly, the female protagonist. And in its history also it's been issued by the German state. During the Second World War, this cologne was actually issued to submariners in the U-boat service because they were away at sea, often in extremely cramped conditions, with very limited opportunities to wash and to pay attention to personal hygiene. To help with the unpleasantries of that situation, Germany issued 4711 to all the submariners in the Kriegsmarine, the German submarine service, so that they would be a little more fragrant smelling whilst they were working, living cheek to jowl with each other. However, it's known that not many of them actually used the product. They became so accustomed to their own stench that they used to bring them home and give them to gifts to their loved ones. And through its time, history, 4711, as many of the original colognes were, is actually a unisex product. It's not specifically for men. It is perhaps probably more used by men in the modern era, but certainly over the passage of its history, it has been considered to be a unisex product.
Yes, it's unisex indeed, but the fun fact, in the past, maybe some decades ago, 4711 was considered more of a old ladies fragrance. That's really funny. It's a unisex, that's right. But in Germany you can hear many people when they hear 4711, then they will say, oh, my grandmothers used to use it in the past always. And yeah, it's maybe, and the 4711, the brand tried to fix that old ladies image in a few years ago, but in particular in the 50s, 60s, maybe 70s, it was used more by old ladies. But it doesn't smell old. It smells indeed light and fruity. So I wonder why it got, at least in Germany, more old ladies fragrance image. I don't know.
Now, I've had this over the years, off and on. I know I've had a bottle in the past, and I purchased this particular bottle a few months ago because I was looking to expand my horizons when it came to the fragrance world. And I was pleasantly surprised. I mean, I couldn't remember the last bottle I bought. I remember it was fairly pleasant smelling, but that was about it. But having perhaps educated my senses now around colognes and men's fragrance, I was pleasantly surprised when I purchased this. So what can I tell you about the product itself? Well, it's all in the smell, isn't it? So let's start with that. And let's get a bit of it out. Now, it comes in a variety of different sized bottles, much smaller, much larger than this. But this, I believe, is a 300 milliliter bottle. Indeed it is. And the first thing you note when you sense it is, and I'll put a little bit on the back of my hand, it doesn't come in an atomizer for a start. It's a splash bottle, so one has to be quite careful, and it flows rather freely. So you'll end up wearing half of it if you're not very careful, but okay, so let's enjoy that fragrance for a moment. Let it go to work. And I've smelled this many times, of course, so I can give you some of my really thoughts from experience. In the first instance, the top end, or the top notes of the fragrance, they're very much citrusy. This is a citrus, totally citrus imbued fragrance. It certainly smells of lime, of lemon, a little bit of orange, citrus from one end to the other. There's no doubt about that. Maybe just, a little bit of vanilla there as well, giving it an element of sweetness. It's got a slight sweet tang to me, but citrus is the overwhelming pop. When we get into the middle notes, we will note that it has a certain florality to it, a little bit of what I would describe as perhaps a rose fragrance, a little bit of a rose going on there, but a jasmine perhaps, but still overwhelmingly citrusy. And, without a doubt, my first thoughts of it are it smells very clean, it smells very fresh, and it is very light. It's a very light fragrance, quite subtle, not at all overwhelming. When you get down to the base, you do get a little bit of vetiver perhaps, and certainly a tiny bit of woodiness. I would describe it as a faint fragrance of perhaps cedar and sandalwood, but that's not overwhelming at all. For me, very much a citrus aromatic fragrance is what you get with 4711. And for that, it's quite well suited to the warmer parts of the year. As I say, it's a very light fragrance, almost discreet and not particularly long lasting. So in the summertime, where you perhaps don't want a thick, muggy fragrance hanging over you, this would be an ideal fragrance for light, fresh smelling occasions where you just want to lighten yourself up and feel quite clean. What else can I tell you? Well, because, as I say, it tends to lend itself more to the summer months. And how would I describe, who do I think would be attracted to this when it comes to the age range? Well, I would definitely say the older rather than the younger. This is a very light fragrance. And for me, younger people tend to be more drawn, as I was as a younger man, to much more powerful fragrances, which are perhaps more brutal in nature and announce themselves. As you're young, you're brash, and so are the fragrances you tend to choose. This one...
Well, I guess this is enough for now for this video. Thank you really much. Thanks to the Chap's Guide for this very nice introduction of 4711. Yes. So let's come to the raffle, to the little giveaway I already mentioned at the beginning of the video. Yes, one of you can win a package of 4711, the very original Farina Eau de Cologne, or Eau de Cologne, the very first one, together with some German seed I just bought at a very famous German discounter called Aldi. This together, one package, I will send to the USA, to one of you. What do you have to do? Please like the video, of course, and subscribe to my channel if you didn't do it yet. And then just write a comment like, yeah, I wanna enter the raffle, the giveaway. I wanna have the Cologne package for Cologne, from Cologne. And yeah, just write a comment. Maybe you can write why you want to get this. And yeah, I will choose one. Only one package. I'm sorry. One package with this stuff at every stuff. And the special thing is, I bought the Eau de Colognes, both of them, in their own shops here in the city center. In the both, and you can buy this only. This more expensive than this 4711. Maybe this bottles had quite the same price. So why is this more expensive? Because they sell it only in their very own shop in the city center of Cologne. In their own online shop, you can hardly can buy it somewhere else. But this you can buy many fragrances shops, probably worldwide. So this is way more famous. A bit cheaper, but this is more exclusive. And yeah, the very first Eau de Cologne ever. And so just write a comment, please like this video, subscribe to my channel, write a comment why you want to win this and from what state you are, because only people from the USA can join or can enter this little raffle. I will also write everything else in the video description, and this raffle will last from now on for 7 days. And yeah, that's all. One of you can win this whole package, and I will send it to the USA. It will maybe take 2 weeks until it arrives. So, but of course you have to give me your address. Then I'm going to respond to your comment, to one of the choose or pick, and I will write you an answer to your comment, and then you have to write me an email with your address. Yes, that's all. And yeah, so thanks for watching. I hope you liked the video. I hope many people will join this little raffle. This is maybe the only chance you can get Cologne from Cologne. or you have to come to Cologne, but maybe this is will not happen so quickly. So yeah, goodbye, see you in the next video.